Gentlemen, does every night go like this for you? 10 p.m. rolls around, and you start feeling that familiar dread, knowing another long, difficult night is about to begin. You wake up, stumbling through the darkness, standing at the toilet for 2 to 3 minutes, straining with everything you've got, legs shaking, mind foggy from being half asleep. You stand there forever, but the urine just trickles out drop by drop, like a clogged faucet. Your bladder never feels truly empty. There's always that heavy pressure weighing you down. Morning comes and you feel exhausted, like you've been up all night. You can't focus at work, you're irritable with your family, and worst of all, you start dreading bedtime. These are the devastating consequences that an enlarged prostate wreaks on your life. I'm Dr. Sarah Brown. In my last video, urologist reveals, eat this fruit to shrink your enlarged prostate naturally. So many of you responded positively with likes, shares, and comments, appreciating what I shared. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 6 worst types of meat for men over 60 and explain exactly why they're so dangerous. Most men think these foods are completely normal, but they're silently making your prostate swell up more every single day. So watch this video carefully. And leave your thoughts in the comments below so I can give you the most accurate advice for your specific needs. Let's start with the first terrible meat on this list. 6. Processed hot dogs. I have to admit, this is one of the hardest foods for American men to give up. Hot dogs, truly the American classic. They're at every baseball game, every weekend BBQ, every summer festival. I get the appeal. They're convenient, quick, and there's something so nostalgic about biting into a hot, steaming hot dog with mustard and relish, and most men never stop to think twice about them. But here's the truth I've seen over and over again in my practice. Hot dogs are a chemical cocktail designed to sit in your refrigerator for weeks, and every time you eat one, you're putting 3 extremely toxic things into your body. First are nitrates and nitrites. These preservatives, you'll see them on every processed food label, don't just keep the meat looking nice and pink. When they get into your body, they convert into a compound called nitrosamine. This is a proven prostate cancer-causing agent. Second is sodium. The average hot dog contains 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium. This excess sodium doesn't just raise your blood pressure. It creates chronic inflammation throughout your body, and your already sensitive prostate swells up as a protective reaction. That's what leads to those miserable nights, poor sleep, and frustration. And third, growth hormones. Most hot dogs are made from factory-farmed livestock, where animals are injected with hormones to make them gain weight faster. These hormones don't disappear when you cook them. They enter your body and increase DHT, dihydrotestosterone, which is the #1 culprit behind an enlarged prostate. I remember a patient named John from Houston, Texas, who was 62, retired from the oil industry. John had a routine. Every lunch, he'd grill up 2 hot dogs with a little ketchup, and he'd been doing this for over 10 years. The result? He was waking up 4 times every night to urinate, feeling exhausted all day, and starting to worry about his future. Gentlemen, cutting these out of your diet could be the first step to cooling down the inflammation, calming your hormones, and giving your prostate the breathing room it desperately needs. And if you think hot dogs are the only meat you need to worry about, think again. Because the next one on this list is just as common. Let's talk about meat number 5. Bacon is high in protein, beloved by the keto community, and honestly, it's a staple in every family's weekend breakfast. I understand the appeal. It's crispy, salty, satisfying in a way that few foods can match. But here's what you need to hear, especially after 60. Bacon can silently fuel the inflammation and urinary problems you're trying to avoid. It contains 3 types of compounds that are extremely harmful to your prostate. First are advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. When bacon is smoked and processed at high temperatures, it creates these compounds. AGEs are like tiny shards of glass in your body, causing chronic inflammation everywhere they go, especially in your already sensitive prostate. Second is excess saturated fat. 1 strip of bacon contains nearly 3 grams of saturated fat, and when you eat 3 to 4 strips in one breakfast, you're overloading your circulatory system. This raises bad cholesterol, makes your blood thicker, and reduces blood flow to your pelvic area, exactly where your prostate needs oxygen and nutrients the most. And third, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs. These are chemicals created during the smoking process. They don't just cause cancer, they specifically target hormone-active tissues, like your prostate. 4. Charcoal grilled beef. And you might be shocked to hear this, because even though it's a family favorite, charcoal grilled beef is actually one of the worst foods for your prostate. When you grill beef over hot coals, 3 extremely dangerous things are happening that you can't see with the naked eye. First is the formation of heterocyclic amines, or HCAs. These are toxic compounds created when protein in meat meets high heat, anything over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Studies have shown that HCAs increase prostate cancer risk by up to 40%. Second is benzopyrene from charcoal smoke. When fat from the meat drips down onto the coals and creates those billowing clouds of smoke, it's loaded with benzopyrene. This chemical doesn't just go through your lungs, it accumulates in prostate tissue and slowly damages healthy cells. And third, excess heme iron. Red beef already contains high levels of natural heme iron, but when grilled at high temperatures, these levels spike dramatically. Excess heme iron creates oxidative stress in your body, damaging the DNA of prostate cells and creating the perfect environment for chronic inflammation. I remember a patient named Mike from Arizona. He was 65, retired. Every weekend, he'd host backyard barbecues for family and friends. Mike came to see me with severe prostate enlargement. He was having trouble starting urination, a weak stream, and waking up 6 to 7 times every night. He said to me, "Doc, I don't understand. I always eat healthy, fresh beef, grilled at home, not processed stuff. But when I explained this to him, he started to understand the harm this beloved dish was causing." Gentlemen, if you truly care about your prostate health, it's time to say goodbye to charcoal and embrace gentler cooking methods. Your prostate will thank you with peaceful nights and restored confidence. 3. Fried chicken. Let's move on to fried chicken. I know many of you absolutely love this dish. That crispy, crunchy coating, tender chicken inside, and that irresistible, rich flavor. I've met countless patients who tell me they eat fried chicken because they believe at least it's still protein, unlike hamburgers or pizza, and I get that. Fried chicken tastes amazing without making you feel guilty like candy or sweets do. It seems like the lesser evil when you want to treat yourself to something special, but here's what you need to hear, especially after 60. Fried chicken can silently turn your peaceful nights into constant pilgrimages to the bathroom. Now, before you think, "Doc, chicken is healthy protein. The problem isn't the chicken is perfectly fine. The problem lies in how we prepare it. Fried chicken creates a perfect storm of 3 toxic substances that target your prostate, like poison arrows. First is trans fat from reused oil. Most restaurants and fast food places reuse their frying oil dozens of times, sometimes more. Every time that oil gets reheated, it transforms into something the human body was never designed to handle, trans fat. Think of your prostate like a precision engine. Trans fat is like pouring sand into that engine. It doesn't just cause body-wide inflammation, it directly suppresses your natural testosterone production. And when testosterone drops, your prostate starts swelling like a slow inflating balloon. Second is acrylamide, the silent neurotoxin. This substance forms when starchy breading meets high heat. Acrylamide doesn't just attack your brain, it turns your urinary system into a hypersensitive nerve network. That's why, after eating fried chicken, you might feel the urge to urinate even when your bladder is still empty. And third, excess omega-6 from vegetable oils, soybean oil, corn oil, and canola oil. All the oils used for frying are loaded with omega-6. When omega-6 overwhelms omega-3, your body shifts into an inflammatory state. And in older men, that inflammation typically shows up in the prostate. Your prostate doesn't cry out in pain when it's inflamed. Instead, it silently swells, pressing on your bladder, and suddenly you're waking up 3, 4, even 5 times a night, wondering why you can't sleep without visiting the bathroom. I've seen patients completely transform their quality of life just by eliminating fried foods from their diet, from 5 to 6 wake-ups per night down to 1 to 2. From weak, struggling streams back to normal flow. This simple change could give you back those good nights' sleep you've been missing. And just when you think fried chicken is bad enough, wait until you hear about number 2 on this list. This is something most people consider healthy comfort food, but it's actually making these problems much worse. 2. Fast food hamburgers. And now we come to number 2, and this is the most iconic food in America. Fast food hamburgers like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all those familiar names. Hamburgers have become part of American culture. They're quick, filling, and there's something truly satisfying about biting into a juicy burger loaded with all the fixings. But I need to tell you this truth. Hamburgers contain 3 extremely harmful factors. That's why you're losing sleep all night long. First is hormone residue. The beef used in fast food chains comes from cattle injected with recombinant bovine growth hormones. As I mentioned earlier, these compounds disrupt your hormone system, lowering testosterone and raising estrogen levels. The more estrogen signals your prostate receives, the more it swells and tightens around your urinary tract. That swelling is why you feel weaker urine flow, why you hesitate before urinating, and why you're going to the bathroom more and more at night. Second is advanced cooking methods. Fast food chains use flat-top grills at extremely high temperatures to cook burgers quickly. This maximizes the formation of HCAs and PAHs, those cancer-causing compounds we discussed earlier. But in fast food, the concentration of these chemicals is 3 to 4 times higher than home cooking. Many patients have told me, "Doc, I've been eating hamburgers my whole life and I'm fine. But let me ask you, are you really fine? Do you sleep soundly all night without rushing to the bathroom? Do you still have confidence in your stream like you did at 50? Do you feel secure that your prostate isn't silently enlarging year by year? Usually, symptoms develop so gradually, so slowly, that you don't notice until they've already stolen your comfort and freedom. Gentlemen, if there's one type of meat I'd recommend you stop eating today, it's hamburgers and the 6 types of meat I've listed. Eliminating them from your diet is the first step to cooling inflammation, calming your hormones, and giving your prostate the breathing room it desperately needs. And if you think hamburgers are the only ones you need to worry about, think again, because the last one on this list is just as beloved, but it hides dangers that most men never suspect. Let's talk about number 1, spicy Cajun sausages and hot spice sausages. Andouille, chorizo, those spice-loaded Louisiana sausages that many consider the soul of Southern cuisine. I know this will hurt a lot of people, especially those with Southern roots. These sausages aren't just food, they're cultural heritage, childhood flavors, the centerpiece of countless family meals, but I need you to understand why they top this list. Spicy sausages seriously damage your prostate through these mechanisms. First is capsicum overload. The compound that makes peppers hot does have anti-inflammatory properties, and in small doses, that's true. But in Cajun sausages, the capsaicin levels are extremely high. Instead of fighting inflammation, it causes increased blood circulation in the prostate, what we call hyperemia. Your prostate becomes severely swollen, causing pain and difficulty urinating. Second is multiple preservatives. Spicy sausages contain a toxic cocktail: sodium nitrite for color retention, sodium benzoate for bacteria prevention, and BHT-BHA as antioxidants. When these three combine in your body, they create a chain reaction of toxins that's particularly devastating to prostate tissue. Third is the combination of high fat and high sodium. Cajun sausages contain up to 70% saturated fat and astronomical salt levels. This combination creates the perfect inflammatory storm. Fat thickens your blood, salt increases pressure, and together they create the ideal environment for chronic inflammation. And fourth, the habit of pairing with alcohol. Most people eat spicy sausage with beer or liquor. Alcohol dilates blood vessels, doubling the impact of capsaicin on your prostate. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. According to Louisiana state statistics, where spicy sausage is daily fare, they have the highest prostate enlargement rates in America. 68% of men over 60 in Louisiana have enlarged prostates, compared to the national average of 42%. Imagine your prostate like a sponge. When inflamed, that sponge swells up, and even a little swelling presses down on your urethra, the tube that carries your urine. That's when you feel weak flow, hesitation, and constant urges to urinate. So that's why spicy sausage tops the list. Not just because of one single harm, but because of the perfect combination of multiple toxic factors, amplified by cultural eating habits, creating an all-out assault on your prostate. I remember one patient, a man in his 60s, who had a habit of eating lots of these spicy sausages because he thought they suited his taste perfectly. He was proud of his choice, but increasingly frustrated with his nighttime bathroom habits. After cutting back, his symptoms didn't disappear overnight, but within just a few months, he told me with relief that his nights were far less interrupted. That small adjustment helped him regain a sense of control. So we've gone through all 6 types of meat, the silent enemies of your prostate that most men over 60 are still eating every day. Let's look at this list one more time. Number 6, processed hot dogs with toxic nitrates. Number 5, smoked bacon creates chronic inflammation. 44, charcoal grilled beef with cancer-causing compounds. Fried chicken making you wake up 5 to 6 times every night. 2, fast food hamburgers create metabolic chaos. And topping the list, spicy Cajun sausages, the ultimate prostate destroyer. You are not powerless against this condition. You are not a victim of age. You don't have to accept waking up 4 to 5 times every night as an unavoidable part of getting older. Your body has an amazing ability to heal, even at 60, 70, or 80. I've witnessed thousands of men regain control, reclaim their sleep, restore their confidence. And the only thing they did was eliminate these 6 foods that were harming them and start replacing them with healthy, wholesome alternatives. Your prostate is listening. Your body is waiting. Your healthy future starts with the decision you make right now. If this video has helped you, even just a little bit, please hit that like button. That lets me know this content is bringing real value to you. Please help me by sharing this with a friend, a brother. Give them this gift. And I really want to hear from you. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Finally, subscribe to the channel to help build a health community specifically for men over 60. See you in the next video.